Hey, thank you so much for watching, listening today. Of course, I want you to subscribe because we have amazing content. But uber cool today, I get to introduce to you a really amazing man. His name is Brian Simmons. Thank you so much, Brian, for hanging out.
Love being with you.
I've been looking forward to this for over a year.
Wow.
I know. I've been counting the days down. Sweet, and this is why. So, Brian, can you tell them people would know you how today?
Well, I'm former pastor, missionary, but more recently I've been translating every day, working for 12 years on the Passion Translation.
Yeah, but let's talk on the missionary stuff because people don't know that. Like, we had a nice conversation on the phone, and I was like, so where were you missionary and why? What was that all about?
Yeah, we were stationed right at the frontier, the border of Colombia and Panama, where the drug cartel had set up base inside of Colombia. And our village was on the path of where they would transport drugs. So our presence so intimidated the drug cartel that they sent some really bad people with automatic weapons after we had left. And the three missionary families that replaced us, they kidnapped the men and later killed them in the jungle.
No way.
So they were, my best friends are martyrs. Ooh. And quite a story. You know, it was really big in the 90s. Yeah. Hit all of the media, including, Good Morning America and all of the secular media because of the missionaries that had laid their lives down for the gospel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when you were in there, living on that border, what were you doing at that time?
Well, I was learning language. I was helping finalize the alphabet for the Payakuna dialect. I compiled a dictionary of their language. Their language is a homonymic language. One word can mean many different things. Like the same word for dog is the same word for nose. And interestingly, it's the word achu. So
that's great.
Learned the language, and I assisted in the translation project with a Wycliffe translator, and thankfully, they now have the New Testament in their own language. They're flourishing with no missionary presence. God established his church there.
Mm-hmm. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And what caused you to be interested in languages?
That's a good question. I don't really know where it all began. I tested out as a linguist before I even knew that I had that abilities. They gave me a military test that they use in the military to test, for interpreters. And I didn't realize that I had that skill set until I went into the classes and really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Language is fun. Language is exciting. And so I get to work with Hebrew and Greek and Aramaic and sometimes English.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And so when you started off, how old were you when you did that testing out thing in the military?
I would have been about 27.
Okay. And so you didn't know that up to that point in time. What did you think you were going to do? I mean, when you were kid, what were your aspirations?
Oh, I wanted to be an astronomer. I always puzzled by the heavens and looking into the skies and charting out the stars and looking for comets and constellations and all that kind of stuff. But that was, quickly dissipated when I found out how much study I'd have to go through to become an astronomer. So I guess linguistics is equally as hard, but more gifted. God pulled me that direction.
And when you started moving in that direction, how did you feel?
Helpless. Like I really needed God, because it is difficult. Language, when God confounded the languages at Babel, he did a great job. And linguists are going back and trying to put all the pieces of language back together. So, just think the way it was in the village, when they would speak, I would record what they said on a tape recorder, but I had no idea where the word breaks were, where, it'd just be a series of speech. And then I would have to analyze it and determine the phonemes and where is the word breaks and how do you even work on a language that's never been written down before. So it was a challenge for me.
And what do you find to be the best way to acquire a language?
Two things. Time It takes a lot of time. Don't think you're going to learn French overnight. And exposure. You have to get immersed. So Candace and I virtually refused to speak English for about 3 years. We would just immerse ourselves in the language and became one with the people, including what they ate, what they wore. Thankfully, they wore clothes.
Yeah.
And, where they lived, etc. And really, language is culture, too. You assimilate not just the language, but you assimilate the culture. Like Eskimos have 40 different words for snow.
Yep.
We have like snow, heavy snow, hail, sleet, maybe. They have 40 words for snow. It's because their culture, it's important.
And language shapes your thinking.
Totally. It is your worldview. So important. Yeah.
And I don't think we appreciate what that does in our thoughts, especially if we only have one language to us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, to learn a language is rewiring how you think. In the Payakuna language that we learned, you cannot say any noun or object without a suffix stating, is it standing, lying, sitting, walking?
Wow.
You have to put a verbal stationary position. You have to put a position to every noun. I can't say the chair. I have to say the chair sitting there.
Yep.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yep.
And that's different than all the gender things that go with nouns, right? A lot of languages just do masculine, feminine, neuter, that idea.
Right.
So that's totally different. Totally cool. So how many kids do you have?
we have 3 beautiful kids and 10 grandchildren, 3 of them great-grandchildren.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is amazing because I'm only 40.
That's amazing. You've done so much in such a short time. So where all do they live?
East Coast. We have kids just outside of New York City. We have an oldest daughter, Charity, is a clinical therapist in Charlotte. And then our daughter and son-in-law live in Tampa Bay, and run a business there.
Yep. When you guys hang out with them from time to time, go visit or not?
Oh, all the time. Every time we can. Thanksgiving is our big celebration time. So I fly them all into Florida and we just enjoy a week together.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What do you like to do for hobbies? How do you relax?
I translate the Bible for a hobby. So honestly, even on vacation, I love to get 5-6 verses done. I get up early, do the work, and then Candace and I can go play. We can go do something. But I thoroughly enjoy the work God has given me. You know, Solomon said to enjoy the work of your hands, that's the whole meaning of life, is to enjoy what God has given you to do. So I'm trying to do that.
So when you get up and you're like working on 3 or 4 verses, what does that look like? How do you do that?
Well, I open up my Logos Scholarship software package. And I'm kind of big on words themselves, that especially Hebrew words, that you look at the universe of meaning and see which piece of that fits. When I say universe of meaning, Hebrew words have multiple meanings to them. They're not precise like English. They're more brushstrokes. Hebrew is a brushstroke on a canvas,
Right.
where English and Greek are more like bricks that build a wall or build thoughts. But in Hebrew, it's very emotive, very passionate, very reflective. So I like digging into the word itself. And when I finish my work, then I look at other translations to see how they handled it. And sometimes I realize, oops, I really need to consider that. Other times I go, wow, I wish they saw what I saw. So we have so many translations of the Bible, and I just heard today of a new one that's coming out. So for the next 20 years, we're going to have 20 new translations. So we need more, not fewer.
Yeah.
Because God's word is powerful, and it's kind of a myth to translate word for word.
Right.
To do that means you chop off a lot of the meaning to stick and fit into one English concept, which is very difficult, as you know.
Yeah, totally good. So when you say like after you do 3-6 verses, and you go play, what does that mean?
Well, we love I love to sail. Love to get out on the water.
You have a sailboat?
No, I rent a lot.
Yeah.
And we walk. Candace and I are walkers. We do a few miles every day. And that's about it. I guess I collect T-shirts. Every place I go, I buy a T-shirt. So I've got quite a T-shirt collection. If you ever need one extra large, just let me know.
I'll send you T-shirts. I'll send you T-shirts of places.
I've never been. Huh?
Probably. That's not all bad, sort of. So, sailing. So what kind of boats do you like to sail?
Catamarans, anything that is,
cats?
Anything that will get me out to see a sunset. I love sunrises and sunsets. So
does Candace sail with you? Because don't Hobies need two people?
Yeah, at times.
Yeah. You prefer lake or ocean or both? Lake.
Yeah.
A little more stability.
A little more tranquil.
Do a little sunfish? Have you done those?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, not a real big swimmer, but I just love the water.
Yeah.
And the mountains, by the way. I love the Rockies.
You do?
So, yeah.
Do you come here much or not so much?
Not enough.
Yeah. Where do you like to come, like for the mountains?
We like do the southern range. We do the San Juan, Durango, Array, Silverton, up in there, Montrose.
Very fun.
Gunnison.
So do you drive there?
Yeah.
That's a drive.
Yeah, that is. That drive of, I don't know if you've ever done Array to Silverton, but that is a gorgeous drive.
I just did it 2 weeks ago.
My wife can't stand it.
Yeah, because you're on the edge.
You're on the very cliff the whole time.
That's $1 million highway.
And I like to look, so she's interceding the whole time.
I just close my eyes because, it makes me a little jumpy. If I'm...
My kids always said my driving made my wife an intercessor.
Yeah, small details, huh? So traveling, you've done Panama, Colombia. Any other places you traveled?
We love Australia. We've been there many times, not recently because of the lockdown. Canada. Oh, Canada, yay. We've been to some places in Europe, Indonesia, Bali.
Yeah. Where do you want to go?
Bali would be nice.
You like Bali?
Yeah. I'd love to go to China. We were going to China, had it all set, and the Lord gave us a dream and told us not to go. That we would put the ministry we're going to connect with, we'd put them in danger if we went. So someday I want to go to China.
What part of it were you going, like northwest, northeast?
Shenzhen.
Yeah.
That's south.
By
closer
Hong
to,
Kong.
Yeah.
It's adjacent. It's just across the border from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, you've been to Pakistan.
I have. It's not my favorite country, but I lived in China and taught German and English.
Get out of town.
Yeah, I know. Wow. Weird, huh?
So you spoke some Chinese?
I picked it up. It's that immersion thing.
Yeah, you have to. Immersion and time. How long were you there?
Just a couple months. But, if there's no English,
you're forced to. Yeah. Bathroom, food.
Exactly. Yeah. Water. Some small details that are helpful.
Yes.
Totally good. Well, thanks for hanging out. Thank you for watching, listening today. Of course, I want to just encourage you to hit the notification button right there. Keep posted when we put up new content. And here's a question that I would pose to you. If you could learn any language, what language would you like to learn? You might say English, because you're like, I don't know, I'm just kind of fumbling in that one. But what language would you like to learn? And here is your fantastic joke. This is a nod to Reuven, because you didn't help me ahead of time on this one, but it's still pretty good. What do you call a nervous javelin thrower? Javelin, right? What do you call a nervous javelin thrower? Shakespeare.
Ah, good one.
Next week will be lots better. Thanks again.